many who would classify themselves as Pan-Africans or diaspora or continental Africans. I've experienced personally many who have a vendetta against original Americans. It's an energy, and it's an undeniable behavior that occurs, and it's one-sided. There has been many, and too many original Americans who are not Pan-Decepticons, who had complete empathy, complete non-bias, complete warm-hearted generosity, and just no discrimination and no evil being, ways about themselves, trying to deal with what's considered a Pan-African or a continental African, and just get totally dogged out and disrespected and done incorrectly, just simply off of them having vendettas. It's funny to a lot of them. It's humorous to a lot of them. A lot of them talk about this bully story as a child. A lot of them have a ways about themselves that is not holy. Okay? Whatever the backstory may be, like I said, to each his own. I know too many, including myself and many others, who overdid their time putting all of themselves in, wholeheartedly, trying to be what's called a Pan-African, to no avail, to their degradation, to their detriment. You get scoffed at by a lot of these. When you try to be in a personal friendship or relationship with some of these ones who are crying xenophobic, they will laugh at you for having empathy towards them. They will find it funny that you even speak with them. There's something wrong there, and it was separate for a reason. I keep saying that. It's not any original American's obligation to be everybody's fool, step stool, and doormat. It's not. Original Americans do not owe the world to be their sacrifice over and over and over again. We don't. Get over yourselves. Ain't none of y'all worth it. We have our lineages and we have ourselves to concern, heal, and repair. The jealousy of the whole planet towards us is being spoken about, and everybody feel aware about it, of more than too bad. Original Americans do not owe the constant sacrifice that we are. We don't. You can write as many articles as you want, because if we start talking about articles and books and stories and testimonies, it's really going to get documentary around here on this planet. Black History Month is nothing compared to what we could speak on every single day, what we've been through by all these different anti-original American groups, including the melanated ones who are talking about what we owe morally. Don't you ever use the word moral. Don't you ever use the word moral, and you maybe not I would do slaves or own slave. Maybe not I would do such and such to it. You don't have morals. I haven't seen them. Everything about money and greed with too many entities. Don't write another article talking about morals. Don't use another one of my talking points. Don't use another one of my topics. You don't deserve. Like I said, the word trife is being defined at this moment in time in the name of money. Original Americans that are not Pan-Decepticons do not owe anyone, especially those who describe themselves to be Pan-Africans or African diaspora, any explanations. Case in point, there are so many testimonies about abuse and harm that has occurred throughout many generations upon original Americans simply because original Americans have never been accepted, respected, acknowledged, or treated as respectable and honorable humans. Original American defined and acknowledged in beings amongst anything that calls itself diaspora or African, continental, descendant, whatever. Now, former Pan-Africans who are original Americans have too many testimonies of complete, utter harm, not bullying, harm that has occurred from dealing with and being in the presence of or coming into contact with those who may consider themselves diaspora or African or continental African or Pan-African. The in-house self-hatreds that these people carry within themselves, and they have a fanciful experience in trying to get back at quote-unquote original Americans for what they feel towards what happened to their countries because of YT, and they'll be treating original Americans certain ways and doing certain harms unto original Americans as a get back, quote unquote. All right. Teenagers peacefully braiding hair that are original American, and then some quote unquote African auntie will find out about it, and then she'll become outraged and unhinged and throw tantrums about such things and forbid her niece from getting her hair done by an American girl. And I've seen witness with my own eyes come into a home and have a complete unhinged tantrum in an original American home, and you don't know these people at all, complete stranger. But that hierarchy in their minds and that abusiveness that they carry, that they brag about doing unto others, they will do so. And it is inappropriate and so disrespectful and so unhinged and so despicable in every way. And they did not care when they did that back then. And this was in the early 2000s. So I can imagine now. And then I'm not even going to count how many people I know that are sisters who have received packages from these sneaky three-way going in the closet carrying persons from some of these continents. And they'll know they're infected. They will know that they are carrying. They will know that they are giving out, and that is illegal in this country. They don't even care about the laws. I promise you they don't. Many of them will look at you crazy if you start saying you're not supposed to talk to people about who they vote for. You're supposed to divulge if you're infected or not. They look at you, what? No, because their personal business is to be hidden. Their personal business is to be secrets. It's you that they need to know all about. Any original American, they need all of your information and your numbers and your dates and your social security number and all such things, because they're scammers. And they live to know everything about you. They live to be all in your business. They live to destiny swap you. So don't you ever think that this is from out of nowhere that someone wants to disassociate themselves. It is so much harm involved in being an original American, dealing with folks who call themselves diaspora, dealing with folks who call themselves Pan-African, dealing with people who couldn't consider themselves Africans. It is so much harm involved in that. And it's not just one or two testimonies. It's too many. It's taken too long for us to get to this point to finally say, delineate. It's ridiculous how long it took. And every inch of delineation is deserved. I'm late to the show. I overdid. I overstayed in Pan-Africanism. I hurt my whole family doing Pan-Africanism. I hurt my children doing Pan-Africanism. I hurt my lineage doing Pan-Africanism. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. It was none of my lineage to do so. Those freaking, for entertainment purposes, DNA tests should be sued all the way to up and down. Because when I did my genealogy, it told me complete opposite directions. So everybody should not be falling for that. If it's up to you, if that's to each his own. But this one here, I hurt myself being Pan-African. And so many others have. Some of us not here no more. Messing around with that. So it's to each his own. You don't force it upon anybody, especially when your bloodline go a complete different direction. Just because you melanated don't mean everything about you come from Africa. So you can write every article you want to with your fraudulent tales, with your scamming artist professional tales. That don't make you correct. You don't tell everybody on the planet what to do. Nobody has to identify or give onto or be sacrificed over and over and over and over again for Africa's. Nobody has to continue to be humanitarian of the whole planet and carry the weight and tugboat the whole entire planet that despises them and ruins them and harms them in the name of anyone, anything. You are trying to enforce something as if an enslaver, still to this very day. Go talk no brother and sister talk.